this is done with, we're starting to get to the point where the coaching should take place, and there should be some improvement. And there's improvement in some areas, improvement in other areas, and then there's no improvement in other areas. So, the first few days are calm down and let's go, but now there's got to be some pressure on the kids to start to make improvements. And that's what we're going to see. There's going to be changes in the depth chart here and there, and I would imagine after the scrimmage Saturday that, you've had a chance to learn it and do what we need to do. So we're to that point right now, so it's getting serious. So can't wait for Saturday.
What areas do you need the most improvement?
I think our offense really is doing a good job. I think they're starting to click. Coach Chain's done a nice job, and they've got enough offense in that they can be explosive. And defensively, anytime there's new plays in on offense, defense has the hardest job in the country because you got to react to it. You got to react to what an offense is doing formationally, your correct reads and all that. So anytime there's new plays, we're going to struggle. And that doesn't bother me, but it's techniques and fundamentals and the little things that I should see improvement. And some guys aren't showing those improvement. They're going to slip down the depth chart. We're going to give other guys opportunities. So it'll be fun to evaluate the tape here as we continue to move. The more knowledge they have, I want to see them get better as far as their knowledge and the little things they're doing. So,
are you seeing anything from Roy Boyer that might indicate he could play 3 downs this season?
3 downs? How many played last year?
He was mostly a pass rusher last year.
He can play first down, second down. There's no doubt about it. He's got to continue to get better. I ate dinner with him last. I don't know if it was last night. I think it was last night. I ate dinner with him down in the cafe, and he's got to eat better. I mean, we're trying to control and get everything. He's in there just slowly. He goes, Coach, I can't eat anymore. I'm like, I could eat all that plus my plate. Why can I eat it and you can't? So we got to teach him how to eat too. So he's got to get bigger, but he can be a very good football player for us. But he's got to learn that motor all the time. So,
sort of conversely, where have you seen the most improvement through these first 6 practices?
Well, it's hard to say. I mean, you've seen improvement in so many areas. It's hard to say because you see improvement every day, but is it enough? It's never enough for a coach. But there's been a lot of areas. I couldn't tell you one area. There's been a lot of improvement. And then there's some things that are staying the same, and nothing's gotten worse, but it's supposed to get better. And you gotta get better every day.
Is a strong defensive line the most important part to an elite defense?
I think a strong offensive line is, and a strong defensive line. We always talk about it starts up front. If you can't win up front with those guys, you got a problem. You can have the greatest secondary in the world, but if you don't have a defensive line that can, put some pressure on the quarterback, then you're going to have issues. So it starts up front offensively and defensively.
Do you use all spring for installation, or is there a cutoff point where after this practice, kind of done with it?
Every day I would say, except maybe the day before scrimmage, which we've got, tomorrow to review it, and we won't install anything Saturday morning, okay, before the scrimmage. So scrimmage days we don't install, but we're going to continue to give those guys another piece just to keep them thinking, it's never going to stay the same. They've got to pick it up. And next fall, the first 7 days of next fall, they'll have this thing much better than where they are right now. That's expected. But we're going to continue to throw it at them. They will get it. But we don't. The new stuff we put in today, we don't expect it to be perfect at it. There's no coach in the country that should. But that's why you don't. If you put a new defense in, you don't run it 15 times and look back 15 times. You run it a couple times. Let's go back and watch the tape, make sure they see it, and then go, okay, I got it now. They always can see it. I mean, the film sessions are incredible. So it's kind of where we are.
You mentioned some depth chart shuffling coming up. I mean, do you think that's something that might take some guys by surprise?
It's already taken some guys by surprise already. So there's already been movement that maybe you guys don't see, and again, it'll get corrected. We'll move it every day. I mean, we just don't move it during scrimmages. It gets moved daily to shake things up, but it's been good for some guys.
I think I know the answer, but is there any movement that has any of the most notable movement you want to fill us in on?
No. No.
Who's stepping up?
What period?
Overall?
I can't tell you. It's up and down. I mean, you see a guy looks good, like I'd say Tyreek looks really good, and then he'll walk somewhere and it'll make me mad. So there's good and bad out of everybody. I'd have to watch the tape before I'd say that after this practice.
Javonte's a guy. Javonte's a guy who didn't get a lot of run, the last couple of years. But I just talked to Reggie. He said he's running with the first team. What have you seen from Javonte so far?
Javonte's doing a good job. He's been solid. He's sound, right now, and again, we'll see what happened after today. But he's sound, and if you can know how to do your job and you do the little things right, you got a chance to play. So he's a good tackler, and he's in the right spot most of the time. So that's something we're looking for.
When you talk about the success on offense, how obviously a lot comes from the quarterback, but how much is it tied to sort of Chad, and how's he's shown getting into this offense?
Chad's doing a nice job. I mean, I think he's in there with Coach Cheney every day for hours. I don't know if he goes to class. I'm gonna check his. I'm gonna have to go to class, do a class check tomorrow. I think he's only got class with Coach Cheney at times, but you know how smart he is. He goes to class too. But I think every extra minute he has, he's in here studying. So he's a guy that studies the game, and he's got a strong arm, and he can make a lot of throws out there. And again, he's going to put the offense in the right play.
Do you expect that Brian O'Neill to be back anytime this spring?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we're just going to play it smart with him. I just hurt his hand a little bit there, and it's minor, but we'll be smart with him. It's not a time to get anybody hurt worse. So you just got to be smart.
Any other nicks?
Not really. Pretty good after 7.
As you watch film, is there anything that consistently
6.
stands out to you that you don't necessarily see maybe during or after practices?
Say that one more time.
As you watch film after practice, is there anything that consistently jumps out on the film that you might not necessarily notice?
Every day. Every day. There's you see more in the classroom than you see on the practice field. You can see effort, and if I know the play, I'll look and see what a guy's eyes are. But it's a lot of eye control on defense and finishing plays on offense. And you see little things, but you can't see 11 guys. When you watch the tape, you're seeing every one of those guys. And then the things you see there, you try to create a drill, an individual that you can fix it. And I think we fix some things, and then our offense does some more plays, and then you got to fix that the next day. And that's what we do.